All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the DarkSTAH Gears of War weekly series. Fourth round of the Swiss qualifiers today. It is week one, of course, and we're right at the edge of completion and bringing you Mindfreak going up against Trash Teir. My name is Crisis, and of course I've been, I've been led into this fantastic game that is Gear of War by none other than Rogi. G'day, Rogi.
Well, it's been an absolute fine night of Gears. We've had one of the biggest upsets we've ever seen, actually, and unfortunately we didn't get to catch it on stream, but we're going to be seeing if Mindfreak's maybe reeling from that loss against the ever-persistent Trash Teir up for you guys now.
Well, we'll get the brackets up while you get that match ready and ready to go. But if we have a look at what happened after that second round loss to Cap and Deej, Mindfreak 7-0'd Thunder from Down Under. And that's really the result that we are accustomed to seeing here in the Oceanic region from Mindfreak. So they have definitely picked themselves up, dusted off their britches, and gotten themselves back into the game. The question is whether Trash Teir, who have suffered their first loss so far against Cap and Deej, whether they are going to be able to put up a fight and take Mindfreak, if not to school, but maybe to the back of the, behind the bike shed and bloody the nose a little bit. So we'll see if they're going to be able to pull that off. Are we ready to go?
Yep, just confirming. I haven't changed up the map yet.
Map is
Lift. Yeah. Lift, a very interesting map, as it has something about it that no other map in the game has. At the start, it's missing a few platforms, which have crucial weapon spots and terrain that don't get lowered until a certain point in the game.
All right. So changing terrain.
Yeah, it's very interesting stuff. Just got to get a ready check from the boys in Trash Teir.
Tell me, Rogi,
yeah,
would the changing terrain be an elevator of some sort?
Well, technically,
possibly
the changing terrain is the floor, and we are on the elevator.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there you go.
So, but yeah, basically the map is constantly going down, and when it reaches the bottom, there's some terrain comes up. All right, let me just send Fred from Subway a message. Check that they're ready before I start this one. So that's not question mark. That's pizza. I'll give them the pizza anyway. Looks like they're ready. Beautiful. Thank you, Stelz. I appreciate it, my friend. All right. Boom. Let's get the show underway. Mindfreak. A team not unlike any other. Constantly doing work. Constantly getting 7-0s. But tonight they've suffered a bit of a setback, losing to the boys of DJ and the Disciples. A very impressive win for that team. So, but Trash Teir, we just saw them pull off 4 rounds against DJ and the Disciples. So now, jumping into this game, we'll have to see if Mindfreak can continue their dominance. Because remember, they 7-0'd both their other games. So freak accident or maybe some against some of the better teams. They could be slipping here. I'm really excited to see how this one will go. Remember the big players, we saw Jack is starting to get his movement and aim back on point for the second half of Impact. So I feel like he could be subsequently warmed up enough to be going up against the best of them. So I want to jump on board with Jack is Elite to start things off. Where is your boy? Jack is Elite to start things off and see if he's still playing well, because remember the 3 rounds that they actually won at the start, he was dropping donuts. 0 kills for him. So hopefully he can start this one off, but Mindfreak on Lift. This is a very good map for Mindfreak. Seldom do they drop rounds on it. They have a really great approach to playing it, and it was actually one of the maps that they did best on while they're over at MLG Columbus against some of the world's best teams. So I'm really expecting this one to go heavily in favor of Mindfreak, as we see Jackie's Elite pops off with a huge kill onto Travioli, but they've lost 2 Locust Swarm in the process. Virix, he's going to have to back himself out of that one. He's got backup. Jackie's Elite overextends a little bit too far to try and get that kill. Virix wins the 1v1 against Divinity, picks up a kill onto Jackie's Elite and regains control of his home hill. Jumping aboard now with Oh Hectic, as he's going to be making his way Up to the enemy hill, Hectic, so as regarded by most as the best player in the game. See if he can live up to that mark. Gets the first kill, can't find the second as Swix bodies him straight off the bat. Travioli cleans it up. On board with Travioli now, going to be capping the enemy hills home at the moment. Just goes for the break, smart play. This is what not enough teams do, is they try to overextend for the cap. You can see that's what happened to Divinity. He tried to go for the capture, not just the break. You got to remember, sometimes denying the enemy team points is just as important as getting your own points. And now Travioli's up in the portion of the map that we said was the terrain that comes down as you reach the floor. And a funny name for this part of the map, and it's fitting that Travioli is the one who's holding it, because the community like to call this part of the map Trav's mum. As a little bit of an ode to that one. So it's always funny when Trav's holding Trav's mum there. Always funny to say here, but Stelza coming up huge, gets a big kill. Can he get another one to Virix? Not going to find it. Virix puts him in his place. Now Jack is late, holding the hill. Jim Bob actually getting down by his teammate here. So no, it's actually Divinity. Looks like Jack is going to be tapping up first. Gets the free kill onto Jim Bob here. Hectic is in his home spawn at the moment. So grace up by Trash Teir to push them back to the other side of the map. Jack is late, just going to be holding the hut for now. Divinity in a great spot. They haven't broken the sea hill just yet. They're going to be going in just for the break. Jack is late. Get the break and get out. I really like it. Oh, but he's staying a little bit too long. Gets a great up A onto Hectic, but misses it actually. Hectic, if he can turn this one around, that could be huge. Jack is late, not missing his shots, not connecting. He goes down with what should have been a free kill. You can't have that happening, especially against Mindfreak, because they're the team that will punish any little mistake. And look at that, active Lancer coming through from Hectic, just drops Fred from Subway to his knees. That should be a very clean first round. Well, not really a clean first round, but the first round going over to Mindfreak. Trash Teir definitely showing up in this series. I expect them to take at least 2 to 3 rounds off a Mindfreak here.
Yeah, getting up to the 150 on the points table there before finally succumbing to Mindfreak. So not a bad loss of that first round. Let's see if they can dig deep and go any further. Before the next round starts, though, shout out to Hey505. He was there for the podcast last week, so welcome in, man. Good to see you participating in the Twitch chat. And you know what? You're right. We actually could have done a rematch between Cap and Deej and Mindfreak. But that's going to happen on Thursday, no doubt, because they're going to go through to the playoffs, and we're going to get to see them work out their issues together on the battlefield. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. So make sure you tune in Thursday night at 8 p.m. AEDT right here on DarkSTAH TV. And I think I've got a bumper.
I'm jumping on board with Jim Bob at the moment, the front runner for his team. Another one of those players that's up for contention when you're talking about the best Australian player. Jim Bob didn't make much of a name for himself on Gears of War 3, but Gears of War Ultimate Edition was where he shone, and that's just completely transferred over to his play on Gears of War 4. This man is a machine. He does it all. Captain of Mindfreak, and you can tell why. He's just such an exceptional player. And if I was to talk about all these players and their accolades on Mindfreak, we would be here all night. Just, these guys are good. And you can see why, as they're going for a very quick triple cap right now. And Fred from Subway couldn't do anything with that torque bow. Mentioned this map, Lift, it can go down very, very quickly. And Mindfreak, they know how to capitalize on mistakes better than any team in the game. Did mull over the point. It was the torque bow being placed in the control room. Now keep in mind that weapon isn't there at the start of the game. It is one of the nodes that has to wait the 30 odd seconds for it to spawn. Sniper actually being placed in the center of the map as well. Very interesting placements coming out of Lift here. I like it. I like it a lot. You can tell on the side of Trash Teir that they want to make this game a little bit unconventional here. So I'm going to be jumping on board with Divinity, who's going to be the front runner for his squad. Definitely going to be contesting that sniper rifle. Smoke's coming through, but 3 members of Mindfreak are going to be contesting that. Hectic should have a free kill on Divinity there, but no, a great smoke, great covering fire from Jack Isley allows Divinity to get that sniper rifle. God, he pops! Virix with a huge shot on the slide, hits Travioli in the body, forcing Travioli back, gets the meat shoot. Now he's up against Hectic, who's just going off. Oh my lord, Divinity what a monster, but Hectic takes him down. Wow, that was such a sick headshot he got. Gets him as he's sliding to the cover. I'm glad we got that one. Now Hectic cleans up the kill. Sniper wasn't dropped as he did have his pistol out when he died. So heads up play to deny the power weapons on the map. Going to be jumping on board with Fred from Subways. He does have the torque bow. So say that he goes down. Caster's Curse, another torque bow. Very interesting weapon that does have a bit of a charge time before you can connect with someone. You've got to charge it up, let it go, and then it connects. All right, back on board with Hectic. Where's he playing? Very far up. Oh, beautiful shot onto Jackasley, timing himself perfectly. Patience on this man. Stands still, gets the gib. Another day at work. Another day at work for Hectic at the moment.
Another day in the office.
That's it. Another day in the office. He's playing so well at the moment and going to be holding that A hill by his lonesome. Fred from Subway is going to be moving up at Hectic, showing us that movement, showing us. Oh no, they can't even hit him right now. He's going to get out to safety even though he's full red. How did he do it? They're up quite a considerable margin, 30 points at the moment. Nothing to snide your nose to. Hectic can't seem to find an entry point. Gets himself that sniper rifle though. Great sniper in his own right. Misses a shot onto Stelza though. Only one bullet in the chamber on a sniper. So you got to make that shot connect. Even the body shots still do a lot of damage. So especially in an intense team fight, if you're not covered with the headshots, go for the body shots because that really can change the tide of the fight. I'll tell you what else changes the tide of the fight. Swix getting an accidental team kill onto Stelza. They can't be having that, and you can see body shot comes through, then pistols come out because they know he's full red. They can push him with confidence that he's never going to get in range of them to get the gib. Now, the B hill back in control of Mindfreak. Hectic is watching with that sniper. Not going to be connecting with anyone, but it's not going to matter. Mindfreak picked themselves up another round, 3-0. Great stuff out of Mindfreak, really dominating fashion.
But just like we've seen in earlier matches, when the 3-0 comes up, the other team, I mean, they've had their moments of brilliance.
It's a curse.
So who knows? We're into the mid-game now. Mindfreak have got a couple of 7-0s tonight against Beast Gaming and Thunder from Down Under. But they have also been tripped up in one of the other matches, going down 7-6 to Captain DJ. So now is the time for Trash Teir, who are no slouches when it comes to the game, to get themselves back in.
Yeah, the only issue I have with Trash Teir at the moment is someone's always falling behind. Fred from Subway, 0 kills, 1 down, 87 seconds spent dead. Look on the other side of the table. When you're up against players like Hectic, 8 kills, 20 seconds dead, you just can't have that happening or else you're never going to win. But I'm on board with Dave from Telstra now. Dave from Telstra, a very interesting player. Someone regard him as a cerebral player as opposed to a mechanical player. This man knows his advantages and he knows them well. You'll never see him take a fight that he's not 100% sure he can win. To back it up, he does have the mechanics there as well, but not to the same degree as some players like Hectic or Jimbob. So always watching him is a real treat because he's playing his advantages, he's getting the damage dealt, and he knows how to make the correct decision 99% of the time. And sometimes that's not being the flashy player. Sometimes that's just getting in the backline, getting the Lancer down, getting the shots, getting the spots, calling the plays, and that's what Dave from Telstra brings to Mindfreak.
Well, that 3-0 curse broken quite resoundingly. Yes. So 4-0 up now for Mindfreak, and they are marching almost inexorably towards victory. And that's 7-0. Trash Teir, well, I guess it's time for Fred from Subway to step up, getting himself in there and make it a 5-5.
Fred, it's just a joke. You're not actually Trash Teir. You don't have to convince us, man. Start getting some kills.
Yeah.
Got a bad feeling for this. Jumping on board with Jimbob at the moment. He's going to be running straight down the line. Really great shots into the side. Takes out Swix. Fred from Subway's down there. All Jim has to do is wait for him to come back up, and he goes down once again. Remember, you only have 2 downs before you get killed, and not going to matter though. Travioli picks up 2. Jimbob picks up 1, and I think Mindfreak, they're going to pick up another round here, and it's looking really over for Trash Teir at the moment as Divinity. He can't get in there in time, and I feel like just going through the list of all these Mindfreak players, every single one of them just pound for pound better players than their opposing roster here, and it's really showing right now that the expertise is it's on the favor of Mindfreak. Look at all the weapons that have been placed down. They have those big red arrows, which means that the losing team is the one placing them, and that's right now is the Swarm. But I want to jump on board with Travioli, because I feel like we've talked about Hector, we talked about Dave, we talked about Jim. Let's talk a little bit about Travioli. Now, one of the more recent additions to Mindfreak, but long-time teammate of Virix and Dave from Telstra on Gears of War 3. He was part of the basically undefeated Team Legacy, who were essentially the same level as this Mindfreak squad, but on Gears of War 3. They were just absolute animals. Now, Travioli is a very interesting player in that another player that doesn't really rely on his movement, he relies on accuracy and positioning. And that's what Travioli does best right now. And you can see getting some great shots with the Markster, probably the best Markster player in Australia. So when that weapon gets placed down, really expect him to do work with it. But he's going to be opting for the drop shot. That's what you want to see out of Travioli here. Getting the power weapons, using that superior accuracy and positioning. And another thing that makes Travioli, he's very adaptable. You can chuck him into any position and he'll play it perfectly, which is just one of the many things that Mindfreak have on their roster is adaptable players. And you can see, should be another clean cap coming out of Mindfreak, and it's looking very much like it could be over here.
Man, these last few rounds have been as quick as we have seen tonight on the DarkSTAH Weekly Series. One more to go for Mindfreak to seal their domination.
Yeah, I really think it's done, and it's lights out for our boys on Trash here. They've had a great run, but I don't know if it's going to be much longer. Fred, is he going to have a game without getting a single kill? He was such a pivotal factor in their last game against DJ and his disciples. So to see him now just in the back seat, it's not encouraging. I'm going to be jumping on board with Fred from Subway. If we're going to see him get a kill, it has to be this round. And look at this rush. All 5 players just running straight through the middle. And Fred, he's going to go for Virix. He needs to win this one. This needs to be the time that he gets himself a kill. You can do it, Fred. And no, Virix puts him in the bin. Now, it seems fitting that we jump on board with Virix, the last player from Mindfreak who we haven't told a little bit of a backstory to. Virix, another just animal player in his own right. Been playing once again with Dave and Trav for such a long time, so they have that teamwork, they have that chemistry already there. Another player who's gone over to America to play in the MLG games, and such an amazing player. When he's on fire, there's very little who can stand against Virix. And one of the things that makes Virix a great player is his consistency. You never see him at the bottom. You very rarely see him anywhere but middle of the tier. And you can see Divinity going for a bit of a teabag here. Swix gets a kill onto Travioli. So Fred, he did it. He's not selling donuts anymore. Gets himself the first kill of the game. 6 rounds in, it's never too late. Better late than never. Dave from Telstra picking up a kill onto Divinity. Here comes Swix 1v1 against Hectic. He needs to get these kills, and he needs to do it now. The Lands of Fire from Mindfreak is just too strong. Jack Elite goes down. Dave from Telstra picks up the double as Jim gets a kill onto Fred from Subway, other side of the map. This looks like it could be the triple cap coming through. They've set up their positions perfectly right now. Dave going to begin the Lance of Fire, just swapping over to Hectic as Divinity. I don't know. He's overextended. He gets the break. It's what he needs to. It's where he needs to be on the map right now. But Mindfreak, the point score is quite close at the moment. You can tell Mindfreak definitely respecting their opponents. They're not overcommitting. They're not overextending to anything right now. But I think that this could be it. The D hill has been taken, the F hill has been taken, but E gets broken in the midst of that. Oh no! Just in the nick of time, they are able to keep it safe, but I think it may be over this time around. I know I said it a few times, and remember, every time they're not getting points on the hill, they're falling further and further behind, but that's going to be it. Mindfreak take out a swift 7-0 over Trash Teir. Was not expecting that. Was hoping that Trash Teir were going to get themselves a few rounds, if not at least one, on the board here tonight. But congratulations to Mindfreak for once again showing us that dominating performance.
Well, that is our last match on stream for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we've got another 2 matches playing out, and if those players, if they've been completed, well, the matches need to be reported in Discord. We'll record it onto the Zowie leaderboard for the DarkSTAH series. and add the tallies to the points that will determine who our top 4 is and who gets invited to the playoffs on Thursday night. And of course, that is where the cash gets handed over, Rogie, at the playoffs.
Yeah, that's the important part. You've got to make it to the playoffs if you want to have a chance at taking home the beans. So, congratulations to all our teams that could potentially make it in. I'm really excited to see where the dust settles after this 4th round.
Now, we need to pick an MVP from that match. And there is a claim from Fred in Twitch chat that he should be given the MVP for picking up his 1 kill in the 7th round. But I think it's got to go the way of one of these Mindfreak players.
Yeah, we've already given it to Hectic, I think, once.
Yes.
I think this time, it was tough. Jim Bob was doing work. They were all performing their job perfectly. So it's really difficult to
was there a standout player from Trash Teir?
I think again, like, it was hard to say because they were just kind of getting put in the dumpster this time around. I think I might have to give it to Jim Bob.
All right.
For this. He was just doing work. Jim Bob, you can always put him in those really crucial positions, and he always comes out ahead. I think my vote goes to Jim Bob today.
All right, happy for it to go Jim Bob's way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to finish our coverage of the DarkSTAH Weekly, the first week of it. And it's been a great evening. It's been fantastic having you in.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, 6 teams entering the first week, and really positive comments coming through in the Twitch chat. That's fantastic. Only 1 ban, so that's pretty much a record for any broadcast. It wasn't a ban, it was a timeout. But yeah, so I think that we've got a really solid foundation, Rogie, for the series.
Been great fun, and I want to hear how people have enjoyed the Swiss format, because this is, for a lot of Gears players, their first time playing in such a structure. So I do want to hear from all the teams that have now got chances to play more than 1 game, what they thought of it, and if this is something to implement in future events.
Well, it's certainly going to be something they'll experience for the next 4 weeks, because of course, DarkSTAH is going to be going for at least 4 weeks. If we can twist each other's rubber arms, we might go to 5 or maybe even 6, depending on how things go with the scene. Tell your friends, if you've entered tonight and you've got friends who play Gears of War, and they're thinking about trying it out competitively, and they've been brutalized by the 2Ks, tell them they can have a different experience. They can get a Swiss format match. Yes, they're absolutely going to be pounded into the ground when they go up against Mindfreak, but that'll be 1 game out of the night, and they'll be going up against a wide range of opponents. Just look at Trash Teir. They got soundly beaten by Mindfreak 7-0, but against Cap and Deej and the Disciples, they only lost 7-4, and their previous 2 rounds they actually won. So a great evening for a team that have called themselves Trash Teir and certainly not lived up to their name in that respect. So, Rogie, we're going to close things off. It's been a fantastic evening. Thank you so much for casting tonight.
It was a lot of fun, and really enjoying the setup that we got here. I'm looking forward to more games, and that's just the beauty of Swiss format. We get to watch pretty much every team and give everyone a shot at the limelight, a shot to kind of make fans, to get themselves out there and to display their skills on the big screen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us. This is Crisis and Rogie signing out.